They are fixing the elections in Texas. But that does not mean that California should fix the elections because of that. Two wrongs don't make a right.
You don't buy what Governor Newsom's saying?
Of course not. Look, I've sat there in Sacramento. I've listened to the politicians for 7 years. They are not interested in giving any power to the people. The only interest that they have is to take power away from the people and grab it themselves. So this gives them a great opportunity by saying, oh, we have to fight Trump. Let's go and get...
Arnold Schwarzenegger just dropped a political bomb straight onto Gavin Newsom's podium. And wow, California hasn't been this entertained since the last blackout shook the state. The Terminator's not flexing muscles anymore. He's flexing fiery opinions with Hollywood precision. And let's be honest, Newsom's probably wishing Judgment Day stayed locked in the script. When the governor-ator strikes, it's not politics. It's a cinematic showdown powered by protein, pride, and pure drama.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
Before we dive deeper, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. This political storm is just getting started. California might need a brand new anthem after this chaos explodes. Arnold Schwarzenegger just remixed the state's playlist with some serious attitude. The man who once fought killer robots is now battling red tape and political nonsense. And somehow, Gavin Newsom's become the final boss in his sequel. Things are getting wild when the Terminator looks around and says, "I'll be back once these taxes calm down."
You know, it's like there's some challenges all over the world. Los Angeles has its challenges, and I hope they solve the challenges very quickly, and that the federal government and the state and the locals all can work together in solving those problems.
I'm sure you're glad you don't have to be a decision maker anymore, or do you wish you were?
I would be more than happy to make those decisions.
It's practically poetic. The Hollywood action icon turned governor turned global eco-champion is now clashing with a man whose hair looks like it's running for office. You can almost smell the tension. A cocktail of cologne, ambition, and half-kept promises thick enough to power a press conference. The atmosphere is so charged, you could slice it clean in half with a campaign slogan.
What's your view in terms of what should happen nationwide when it comes to redistricting?
Well, first of all, in California, it's a big mistake to go and to dismantle and to basically kind of get rid of the independent redistricting commission under the auspices of we got to have more power than the Republicans and we got to fight Trump.
Arnold didn't just call out Gavin. He gave a full-on cinematic performance. The drama was so intense, you'd half expect him to light a cigar, lean back, and declare that California needs more muscle and less red tape. When the former governor, who once ruled the state on charm and sheer determination, decides to lecture the current one, it's juicier than a Hollywood reboot gone spectacularly wrong.
I got much further when I was governor by working together with the Democrats, by letting them know they're not the enemy, that I am a strong believer that if we want to go and make California successful or America successful, we can do this the best possible way by having Democrats and Republicans work together.
Because Gavin Newsom isn't just a politician anymore. He's basically a luxury label in a suit. His hair's got more structure than California's entire economy, and his speeches sound like high-end TED Talks scripted by a PR team living off almond milk. Yet somehow it's Arnold who's bringing the real heat. He's calling out the chaos in the very state he once ruled, like a gym coach with political power, shouting for discipline in a room full of broken treadmills.
It's about the United States of America. He doesn't believe in that. He believes in the red states. He's going after, it's a war. He's a wartime president. He's the head of a war party. War on women, war on voting rights, war on Hispanics, a war on this state, war on institutions, war on history. I mean, this is serious. This guy's trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize. That's what he's going to try to say tomorrow in Alaska, that he's the big guy trying to find peace, really? When he's bringing war to the American people?
The wildest part? Arnold probably didn't even mean to cause a political earthquake. He might have tossed out a quick comment about California's leadership, and suddenly, Sacramento's shaking harder than a 9.0. The man sneezes, and pundits treat it like prophecy. You could almost hear the collective sighs and gasps across the Pacific. Newsom, who spends half his time convincing everyone that everything's fine, suddenly found himself roasted by the only man who can make climate change sound like an action trailer. Things got awkward fast. Even Hollywood elites were confused, whispering, "Wait, whose side are we on?" One's all brute strength, the other's all calm image. And both think they're saving the state. The timing couldn't have been more explosive.
To fight for democracy and to get rid of your democratic principles. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing against Newsom. We don't have a fight over this at all.
Yeah, because you guys met. What was that like when you guys met together?
It was a wonderful meeting. He told me what he felt. I told him, I said, I totally get it, because this is what you need to do to be the leader of the party. I totally get it, but I'm not a party person, I said. I'm a people's person. I always will fight for the power of the people.
Newsom's been strutting around as the golden boy of progressive politics, chasing national fame. And then bam! Arnold shows up swinging a verbal dumbbell straight to the jawline. It's like karma just rolled into California, wearing sunglasses and a leather jacket. Arnold's whole vibe screamed, "When I ran this place, sure, it was chaos, but rent was still affordable." Now Newsom's probably wishing for an invisibility cloak, maybe one eco-friendly and made from recycled scandals. The internet exploded. X, formerly Twitter, split in half. One side flexed with Arnold, the other defended Newsom like he's California's last avocado tree. Memes spread faster than rent hikes, and somewhere, Elon Musk was probably dropping popcorn emojis on the thread. One side's a blockbuster, the other's a slow documentary pretending the lights aren't flickering.
Lastly, Brad, what's Arnie the Terminator up to in California?
So he's upset now about gerrymandering in California and in Texas. There's basically this big back and forth that's going on where in Texas, Republicans are planning on doing mid-decade gerrymandering, which is redrawing the legislative districts to give yourself more seats in Congress by kind of choosing your voters. This is something Democrats have historically been against and wanted to ban, but now they're saying they will do it too in response. So
Arnold's attack wasn't just political, it was deeply personal. You could feel the frustration of a man watching his old mansion crumble under new management. He tried to stay calm, but even the Terminator has limits before his inner warrior bursts out. Newsom tried to look unfazed, smiling, dodging questions, and talking about innovation. But inside, he had to be boiling. Getting roasted by Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't something you just shrug off. It's like being critiqued by the legend who once had your job and made it look effortless. Arnold doesn't whisper opinions. He drops them like dumbbells. His diplomacy comes with discipline, swagger, and the occasional metaphor about crushing obstacles. One's built like a tank, the other like a luxury electric car. And Californians know exactly which one breaks down when the grid crashes.
Arnold is out here criticizing Trump and Gavin Newsom for doing it. I'm not sure he'll be able to actually do anything about it. It's kind of baked into our political system, but things are fine. Things are going amazing here. We're just kind of in a perpetual race to the bottom of who can take the shadiest step next to kind of rig the political system in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, do we expect anything else from the pin-up boy for stupidity, Newsom? No.
Let's be honest. When Arnold calls out Newsom, he's also calling out himself. He helped create this political circus, the original ringmaster of California's celebrity politics. Without him, Newsom might still be rehearsing speeches in the mirror. It's a full-circle showdown. The mentor turned critic, the original star scolding his sequel for forgetting the script. The irony drips thicker than a protein shake. The state that turned politics into entertainment is now watching its past and present battle for the spotlight. The Expendables, Sacramento edition. What better way for Arnold to steal the show again than by throwing a jab at California's king of cool? Meanwhile, Newsom's pacing, rehearsing his comeback. But how do you outshine a man who's literally a walking meme? You can't outcool Arnold. You can't outfame him. All you can do is pray the next wildfire, or tech scandal steals the headlines before your approval rating melts like ice cream in LA heat.
Even Arnold Schwarzenegger is against what Gavin Newsom is doing in California. And that should tell you something. Here's what's going on in California if you don't know. Gavin Newsom is pushing a plan that would weaken the state's independent redistricting commission. The commission was created to make sure that election maps are fair. No political party rigging the lines. But Newsom's proposal could give more control back to the politicians. And that's where Arnold comes in. Remember, Schwarzenegger is a Republican, but he's not necessarily a Trump guy. Yet even Arnold Schwarzenegger says this move by Newsom is wrong.
Arnold's words hit hard because they came from real experience. He knows the chaos of running California. And he knows when leaders are just overcomplicating things. His message was simple yet razor sharp. Stop treating the state like a philosophy project and fix the potholes already. That truth stings worse than a tax increase. Californians don't want grand speeches about renewable dreams while their cars vanish into road craters. They want results. No photo ops, no glossy magazine spreads, just action. And that's why Arnold's jab hit perfectly. He's mocking the look good, do little politics that can't keep the lights on. That mix of honesty and flair is exactly why he's unforgettable. You can practically hear him say, "When I was governor, we lifted California up." Literally. And somehow, even his exaggerations sound more believable than half the polished promises floating around today.
Now, this movie star and former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger is preparing to battle Governor Newsom over Newsom's redistricting efforts. Ashley, explain to us how Schwarzenegger is planning to fight against Newsom.
He's back. The former governor of California, he's back. He has a beef with the current governor, and he says democracy is at stake. Schwarzenegger is angry with Newsom for planning to redistrict California, who are doing that in response to the same effort.
The media devoured the drama like it was the blockbuster of the year. Headlines exploded. Analysts breaking it down like a pay-per-view title fight. Some hailed Arnold as bold and fearless. Others dismissed him as outdated and out of touch. Meanwhile, the rest of America just watched in disbelief, wondering why California keeps turning politics into a Netflix special. But behind Arnold's fiery words was something deeper. The state's ongoing identity crisis. California wants to be everything at once. Climate hero, tech paradise, moral leader. Yet it can't even keep gas prices under $7. Arnold said what many were thinking. Fix the state before trying to fix the planet. That blend of brutal honesty and showmanship is why he's still magnetic. You never know if he's campaigning or just trolling. But either way, charisma always wins. Arnold reminded everyone that California's biggest rivalry isn't left versus right. It's image versus reality.
But, Christian, you know, you're in California. I have a lot of people here in Australia talking to me about Gavin Newsom, asking what I think about him. And I feel like this is one of those moments that's very revealing about the guy's character. I mean, if he's going to be so petty about this, you know, is everything just going to be this political fight, turning everybody into either friends or enemies?
Yeah, it's a bad look for sure. And it's something he shouldn't really be engaging with. He should just honor the ex-governor, who's obviously a huge movie star and a pop culture icon, and just leave it there. I mean, I think that's magnanimous. And I think it's what people want to see.
Amid all the chaos, you could almost hear Californians breathe a sigh of relief. Finally, someone said it. Arnold became their unfiltered voice, daring to speak what every polished politician's PR team avoids. But don't be fooled. This wasn't a random outburst. Every word, every jab is part of the Arnold legacy. A reminder that while today's leaders tweet about progress, the old guard actually did things, even if it meant budget cuts and a few cheesy movie cameos. Still, the whole spectacle is pure comedy. Two rich, well-groomed men arguing over who loves California more. It's like a beauty pageant where the contestants refuse to age gracefully. One's got the tan and the teeth, the other's got the muscles and memories. And honestly, it's poetic. A man who spent decades pretending to save the world now roasting another man for pretending to save the state. It's hypocrisy at its most glamorous, and totally spectacular.
And when Arnold speaks, people listen. He literally said that trying to mess with this commission is dangerous for democracy. By the way, we don't live in a democracy, we live in a constitutional republic. Think about that for a second. It's not just Republicans that are criticizing this. Arnold has worked across party lines before. So if even he is against it, you know it's got to be a big deal. At the end of the day, fair maps mean fair elections. And nobody should be afraid of fairness, but I think Gavin Newsom is. That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger is calling out Gavin Newsom's plan. Because once you let politicians draw their own lines, the people lose. I agree with Arnold and I disagree with Gavin Newsom. What do you think?
Arnold might not be running for office, but he's definitely running laps around today's politicians when it comes to authenticity. He doesn't need PR consultants or flashy slogans. He is the slogan. When he calls out someone like Newsom, the contrast is pure cinematic gold. Newsom talks progress, Arnold delivers action. Newsom tweets, Arnold lifts. Newsom forms committees. Arnold builds legacies. One's polished and perfect, the other's raw and relentless. And in politics, passion always wins faster. Sure, the headlines will fade, but that image will linger. The former governor smirking while the current one struggles to keep his cool. It's political theater at its wildest. Chaotic, absurd, and entirely believable. Every California leader eventually faces the Terminator's judgment. A torch-passing moment. Except the torch is on fire and carried by a man who never slows down. Politics has become entertainment. And entertainment is politics. And Arnold's still the original director while Newsom's just the sequel.
Schwarzenegger is calling out President Trump as well, saying that gerrymandering is evil, and he used the word evil no matter who does it. It's unclear how hard Schwarzenegger will fight Newsom or what form that opposition could take. A recent picture, though, posted to Instagram showed the former governor wearing a T-shirt that read, "F the politicians, terminate gerrymandering." So we know where he stands.
As the headlines fade and the next scandal steals the stage, one truth stands tall. When Arnold speaks, everyone listens. Not because he's always right, but because he's endlessly captivating. And in California, that charisma is more powerful than competence itself. Somewhere, a political strategist is probably crying into a kale smoothie, realizing no poll or campaign can compete with pure star power. The internet, of course, won't ever let it die. That clip of Arnold calling out Newsom will live online forever. A digital monument to California's eternal political soap opera. Because here, the explosions aren't in movies anymore. They're real, they're loud, and sometimes they wear sunglasses. And that's how Arnold Schwarzenegger once again became the most talked about man in California, without lifting a single dumbbell, just a few eyebrows.